government, the FBI in particular, recently closed down a solar observatory. Why they did it, nobody knows. It's in New Mexico. They're trying to figure it out. All the conspiracy theorists out there are talking about all kinds of things. Aliens are coming. Spacecrafters found something. Something's here. Something's there. We don't know why they shut it down. We don't know why they shut it down. They shut it down, and because they do things in secret that way, people get all out bent out of shape. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. And the UFO nuts are out there saying that they may have found alien spacecraft somewhere and the aliens are visiting us and ET's coming. Well, we don't know why they shut it down. But it's interesting that they would shut down an observatory in New Mexico. And just to keep the people who believe in the UFOs interested, I'd like to bring up another story that recently happened. There was a mysterious square aircraft that people filmed in the night sky in North Carolina. And people got it on film, and everybody's speculating what it was. And who knows what these things are? At very least, think maybe, because we are so far advanced now, the average person does not understand how advanced the government is, these tech companies, these aerospace companies. And is it likely that it's an alien spacecraft from another world hovering over North Carolina? Or that's the reason they shut down an observatory in New Mexico? Or is it possibly something secret or government related that they're either testing or, in the case of New Mexico, they're hiding? They don't want the observatory observing something that may be happening in the place they were observing. Because we are talking about a president, Donald Trump, who has promoted the Space Force. The Space Force, which means we are so far advanced that they're ready to have a military operation in space, a branch of the military that hangs out in space, which means we're not that far from a moon station, if there isn't already one there that exists, because it sure has been a long freaking time since we supposedly went to the moon all those many years ago. I mean, I'm almost as old as the Apollo missions that went to the moon. So that was 50 plus years ago. So you would think that in secret, because we know the government does things in secret, if you think logically, they've probably already put a base on the moon and haven't told us. Why would they tell us? There's no reason to tell us. But now that we're only a few years away from having a hotel in space, I don't know if you've heard that, but there's a guy that's going to build a hotel type thing in space that tourists can fly up there and spend a weekend, a little vacation up in space, and they can look at the Earth. Because I don't know what else you're going to see. You're too far to see Mars. The moon you can see if you're on the right side of the station or the hotel. It's going to be like a space station. So when you understand that we're so advanced that these things are just a mere few years away, the hotels, I think they're going to open one by 2020. That's the idea, 2021. I don't have the article in front of me. But if you want, I can look it up and post it on my Facebook page. But if we're so close to that, it's not too far long. It's not too far-fetched of an idea to think that the military has so much advanced space equipment, space vehicles, space stations that we don't know about, and possibly something's happening that they don't want us to know about. Whatever it is. But if they're going to shut down an observatory in New Mexico, the most logical reason is they don't want that observatory observing something that is about to happen. Maybe aliens are coming from Andromeda. Can you imagine that the aliens just flying in
aliens. We come from Andromeda. We're about to invade your planet.
What would the government do? Oh, geez, shut down the observatory. I'll tweet out something to distract them. Hey, everyone, this is the D. Don't look in the sky. Look at me. It's hashtag huge. So without getting into speculation, because, again, we're going to try our greatest effort no longer to speculate here on the John LeBang Show. I don't want to put stuff into your head. I know what I believe. I'll give you stories, and I'll let you decide from there. But if you're going to tell me that they're shutting down an observatory for some secret reason, the most likely reason is they don't want that observatory observing something that is happening in the view of the observatory. Now, all the people that are saying it's aliens or whatever else, that's speculation. We don't know. We're probably never going to know unless the aliens come to invade us or they reveal something to us or the government decides that they can't hide it no more. And I think that's what's going on here. We're getting to the point where all the space stuff that we don't know about is on the verge of being revealed because they can no longer keep it from us because it's too prevalent. It's too in our face. It's right there. There's no way to hide it anymore. And we're probably looking at a major shift coming. Problem is, will the little people, and this is my opinion here, will the little people be ready? And I don't think so. They haven't been helped along to catch everybody up with what's coming in the technological world, in this futuristic world that we're about to enter. And with the advent of robot workers, tells me they're not going to need the little people for much longer. And hopefully these giant war games that are going on aren't preparation to reduce the population. Let's just hope that. And that is not speculating in the least. I'm just saying if there's a war, population's going to reduce because wars cause people to die. We got to take a quick break. On the other side of this, we're going to talk some Madonna, AC/DC, and have a rousing game of Drop It Like a Deuce. We'll be right back. Smoke them if you got them.
Because the John LeBang Show will be right back
after this. That's guaranteed. Yes. Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
Hey man, you're listening to the John LeBang Show, man.
That's good. That means you ain't stupid.
Mr. President, Alex Jones is on the phone for you.
Oh, jeez. Tell him I don't live here anymore.
I don't think that'll work, sir.
Tell him I moved to China.
Whatever you say, sir.
Why do all the crazies have to support me? Makes me look crazy. How's a man supposed to tweet when everybody's calling him? Hey, everyone. The Big D here. Trying to get some privacy, and all the nutbags are calling. Well, except Nancy. And Hillary and Rosie. Hashtag forget it.
Mr. President, Bill Clinton's on the phone for you.
What's up, Bill?
I just found out that starting next week, they're going to make me, little old Bill, the new host of To Tell the Truth.
Oh, I love game shows.
I am so honored.
Oh, that's huge.
I haven't been around that many liars since I've been in Washington. It'll make me feel right at home.
I'll make sure to tune in. I gotta go now. My people are waiting for my next tweet. Bye. Hey, everyone. Big D again. Just talked to Bill. He's got a new game show, and it'll be huge.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Join the radio revolution right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man.
Yes, I would like some too. All right, real quick before we get to Drop It Like a Deuce, there is news coming out of Vancouver. And this is so exciting news for me. The story is, recently we saw Angus Young having a smoke with his nephew Stevie Young at a recording studio in Vancouver where they recorded AC/DC's last two albums. The day before, the photos came out of Brian Johnson, the singer of AC/DC, who missed most of the last tour because of a hearing problem, and Phil Rudd, the drummer of AC/DC, who's been the drummer for pretty much their entire professional career, outside of a couple albums and some tours. They were all sighted within a couple days of this at this studio in Vancouver. Well, the latest news is this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is totally exciting. There's also been reports that Cliff Williams will come back to record an album with AC/DC. But that's not the best news. That is not the best news at all. This stuff is so exciting. I'm giddy, as you can tell. I'm giddy to talk about it. And it's nice to get off these other subjects for a little while, isn't it? But here we have what appears to be AC/DC putting an album together. And the latest story is Angus recorded a bunch of stuff with his brother years ago, Malcolm Young, who's now passed away. There are over 100 songs from what I'm reading here. And it's not on just one site, it's on multiple sites. There are songs that have Malcolm on them, at least parts of songs with Malcolm playing, that they're going to use, and Malcolm Young is going to be part of the new AC/DC album, even though he's passed away, but because they have a bunch of pre-recorded stuff, they're going to put an album together with that stuff. And I'm so excited. I'm excited. Malcolm Young was and is my biggest influence on guitar. I love rhythm guitar players. Lead guitar players, they're great. They're one of a kind. Each one has their own style. It's awesome. But when you can have a guy that doesn't want the spotlight and can just rip his rhythms out better than anybody, and Malcolm was the guy who could do that, and still do it in a unique way, but yet be very familiar. You've got something special there. And the news is that Malcolm Young had recorded tracks way back in the day with Angus as they were testing a bunch of stuff out. And the cool thing is, see, a lot of people don't understand how that can happen. And the fact that Malcolm probably would record a bunch of stuff on Pro Tools or some kind of digital recording software because they had the money to do it. And all you need is raw tracks to record because you let the producer and the mixer handle making that stuff sound great. So you let him rock out his part, and he's got all these parts he probably sent Angus, and he was the primary songwriter from what I understand. He would write the majority of stuff with AC/DC, at least the popular stuff. So here we go. We've got Malcolm Young going to be part of the next AC/DC album, if the stories are true. And I'm just reporting on these stories, and I'm so giddy. So giddy. I don't even... it's so hard to express to you how awesome that is to a big fan like myself. I've spent literally thousands of dollars throughout my lifetime to either buy AC/DC music or go see them in concert. I've seen them 27 times. In so many different arenas: Pennsylvania, Chicago, Seattle, Vancouver, Detroit, I don't know how many times, Saginaw. I believe I saw him in Lansing. I'd have to write down every time I've seen him and where it was at. Columbus, Ohio, and here they are, and I don't know if they'll tour. It could be that they're just recording an album, and I'm fine with that. I am fine with just having new AC/DC music. And it's the band that is AC/DC, not that Frankenstein monster that they were touring with. Because my longtime listeners know that